Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Samantha and today I would like to share with you a brand new palette that I picked up from Beauty Bay, and it is the Violet Voss and Nichol Concilio collaboration. I love the packaging to start with. When I received this morning, I opened it and I thought how pretty the packaging is, and it's actually the polka dots on it are actually they're a little bit indented into the, it's not just raised, it's indented, it's something different, and this actually goes through onto the palette itself, and I'll share that with you in a moment. So like I say, it's a Violet Voss and Nichol Concilio a pro eyeshadow palette. On the back it gives you a picture of Nichol, and she is a YouTuber, and a little bit of writing there from Nichol, I think. Yeah, it is. Sorry, I haven't actually read it because I've only just received it through the mail. I picked mine up from Beauty Bay. I received an email from Beauty Bay letting me know about this palette and that it was available now in the UK. I know that it's been available in the US for a little while, but it has only just come to the UK last week. I did ham and haw about it because I've got quite a number of those warm toned eyeshadows, and the YouTube videos that I saw or have seen were all those orange toned eyeshadow looks, and I've seen those and I've got those palettes and created those myself. But I looked at a new video yesterday from Beauty Bay, and that was using this palette, and it's the look that I've actually created on my eye today, and it inspired me to purchase this palette because this palette in particular is £40, so it's not inexpensive, but it's not really expensive. So I thought actually there's some different shades in here. I'll just show you the palette and then I'll share with you the actual swatches. Now the palette, like I say, the outer packaging is carried through onto the actual palette itself. On the back it has Nichol's name again, and then when I open it up, and it is a card packaging just like the other Violet Voss palettes, and there is a mirror. So there is a large mirror there, and this is a sheet inside, which I really like. It's that little detail adding Violet Voss and Nichol's name there. And then these are the shades. So you do have warm tones in this palette, you do have those orange tones, but there are some really different cool shades here that I really love. I'm not particularly keen on that blue, however, I think that I could definitely do a brown eye look and then add that as an accent on the lid. So I'm quite inspired actually by this palette to create different looks. So there are the shades, and when you look at these shades, there are some surprises within this palette. So I'll share with you now the swatches. Let me just open the palette again so I can tell you the names. Okay, so this first shade here is NYC. Now initially I thought that this was just a matte, light shade that you could put on the brow bone, or how I use them is to, if I just go a little bit over and don't blend the transitional shade in, I then use a matte, like a cream or white shade, to just tone that down, and that's what I thought this was. But on swatching it, it is a white, it looks white in the pan, but it's actually a duochrome, and it comes off blue, has that slight hint of blue, and I think that's going to be a very interesting shade. So that was NYC. The next one is, I think it's Zozo. And this is the one that I've used in my inner corner here, and I'll be sharing that with you in a moment on the other eye. The next shade is a matte shade, and this one is, I think it's Bruh, B-R-U-H. So that's that one there. It's a very light peach tone. The next one is Pizza, and the last one on the first row is Mars. So there are your different shades, those orange shades that we're all loving at the moment. The second row, the first shade is called Daisy. This next one here is Hangry. The next one is, I think, is it B? Let me have a look. The light's hitting it wrong. BLOU. So is that blue? And it's that one there. So the third one along. Then we have Hey Girl, and the last one is called Chawwcolate. Chawwcolate. And it's got 2 W's in it. So the next row, so the second row, the first shade is Glorious, and it's that shade there, and it's a rose gold colour. The next one is Nichol. The next one is Sagittarius. The next one is GiGi, and I absolutely love this shade. This is what I'm going to be, well, I've used it on the lid of the eye that you can see, but that one is very unusual because you look at it and, you know, it's one of those beautiful deep bronzy golden shades, but it's got green, like a green shimmer to it. Beautiful. And then Parma Tree is that one there. Again, a duochrome because it looks like a green gold, but it has some warmth to it as well behind it, like a red tone to it, red brown. The last row, so the first shade is LA. The next one is Victoria, this really bright yellow gold. The next one is Boop-Bop. The next one is that blue shade Pingy, and the black is called Retrograde. So there are all of the shades. I love this palette and I'm really pleased that I actually picked it up. Now, like I say, I've done one eye here because I didn't really know what to do. I wanted to stay away from those orange tones. I've seen those and I want to do something a little bit different. So I went for Boop-Bop, which is this shade here. Now it's like a yellow toned brown, and yeah, I absolutely love it, and it's very pigmented. So again, I'm going to be using my Primark contour eye brush, and I'm just going to get a little bit of the product onto the brush. Now I thought I was getting a little bit of the product last time, but it turned out to be quite pigmented. So as always, I'm going to just let the brush do the work and just take that into the transitional area and then blend it upwards. Now I only tapped the brush in and you can see that it's already covered the whole of my eye. It is a beautiful, and it's different because yes, it has got that warmth to it, but also it's got like a greeny yellowy tone to it, which is very, very unusual. So, sorry, my hair keeps sticking to my eye. There we go. So I'm just going to take a little bit more of that Boop-Bop shade and basically that's it. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the shade Boop-Bop again. I put it onto the tip of the brush and I'm going to run that under the eye. And this brush and these eyeshadows made my eye look so easy to achieve today. It was so easy, and I thought it was going to be a lot more difficult than this, but no, it was. These shadows are fantastic. I've actually been using Violet Voss eyeshadows quite a lot recently because they are one of the brands that have not agitated my eyes. They don't make my eyes itch. So this is another reason for me actually going for this Violet Voss palette, because it really is, you know, it works for me. I don't get any problems with from the shadows. And I was actually thinking, I think there's another palette called, is it Matte About Me? Something like that. And I was going to pick that up. But when I looked at the videos and the ones, I'm not sure if there was one on Beauty Bay actually. But when I looked at the videos on that, it looked quite dark. And although, yes, this does have the dark shade, that Chawwcolate shade, they're quite, you know, they're easy for me to work with. Now, so I've laid down that transitional shade, and I'm just keeping to the one this time because that's so pigmented. I don't need to do anything else. I've also ran that underneath the eye, which I love. Now I'm going in with that Chawwcolate shade, and I'm just going to again put that on the tip of this brush. I think I've put a little bit too much. Now I'm going to again keep it, I really find that keeping these deep colours quite tight to the crease and just in this area here really does work for me. So I'm just going to keep it, and this brush makes it so easy because when you put the colour on that, the tip of the brush, it's so easy to keep that where you want that shadow to go. So I'm just blending that shade in, that Chawwcolate shade, until I'm happy. Now I'm just going back and getting a little bit of Boop-Bop, so that first shade, and I'm just making sure that everything is blended out. Now, this is the problem that I had with the shadow, oh that's better, earlier on, because I'm going to have to get another brush, because what I like to do, I'm just using another brush, this is just my Wilko flat brush. I had this problem with the other eye and I don't want to go into another palette. Now usually if I go a little bit heavy, or you know, a little bit heavy up here for example, I then go into, there's like a cream shade. Let me just see if I can get a little bit more light. So I usually get like a cream shade and blend that cream into that shade there, but there's not a cream shade within this palette. I thought that the NYC shade, that first shade, was that, you know, really light colour, but it's not. And that's how I found it out, because it's not a matte white, it is actually a white with the blue duochrome to it. So I had this problem with the other eye, but now I've sorted that now. So yeah, I could have gone in with Daisy, I suppose, because that's quite a light shade, but I just wanted to keep to these colours. But I always find when I do an eyeshadow look, for whatever reason, this eye always comes off darker, and I'm not sure if it's the way the light hits me or, you know, what it is. But when I look in my mirror, it looks okay, but then when I look in the viewfinder, it looks very, very heavy. But that has eradicated it, just taking a little bit of that colour out. Now what I want to do is add some shimmer to this look, and I'm really excited about this colour, and this is the colour that I was talking about. It's that GiGi shade. I'll share it with you, and it's this one here, so second one in GiGi. Now in the pan it just looks like a regular bronzy gold colour, but actually when you add it to the eye it has a green shimmer to it, and it is so stunning. Let me just get it on my finger. I'm not sure. Oh, there it goes. I think you can see it. So you've got that green reflect, and it is stunning and really does complement the shade Boop-Bop. So I'm just going to add that to the eye. And I've also got a little hint of green to my eyes are more, I would say, sometimes they look brown, sometimes they look like they've got more of a green hazel look to them. But when I added this shimmer, it really brought out the green in my eyes. So yeah, I was really, really pleased with that. Now what I'm going to do is go back to my original brush, get a little bit of that Chawwcolate shade and just deepen out that area there. Just go around the eye just to make sure that none of that shimmer eye is on my in my transitional area. So that's that done. Now I'm going to swap over to my PS Pro shading eye brush, which I love, and I'm going into the shade Zozo now, which is this shade here, that one there. And I'm going to use that as my inner corner highlight. So I'm just going to add that underneath and all around, and then connect it to that GiGi shade as well. So everything is connected. Don't know what that is. But that is so stunning. The GiGi shade, I suppose I could have carried it round, but I do like, if it was lighter, I would have carried it around, but I wanted something a little bit lighter. It's a little bit dark with that green reflect, and I hope you can see that. But that look, I am so, so pleased that I picked up this palette. And if it wasn't for, I can't remember her name now, but the makeup artist that did the look on Beauty Bay, I probably would have passed by this palette, because you know it has still got those beautiful warm shades, and I do love these warm shades, but it's got a little bit of something else, and for £40, you know, I wanted it to have something extra, and it does. So that's the palette. I'll just share with you the swatches again, if I can close this. So I'll just share with you the swatches one more time. And of course I'll take a close-up picture and pop that onto my Instagram. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that and found that helpful. If, like me, you are in two minds whether to go for this palette or not, I'm really, really pleased that I did. And thumbs up, of course, if you enjoyed this eye look or the palette. Yeah, I hope you found that helpful, and of course please do subscribe to watch further videos. You know, I do tutorials, I do hauls. In fact, I've got another Primark haul which I'm going to film after this for tomorrow. So I really hope that you found that helpful, and thank you so, so much for watching. Thank you. Bye.